Happy Friday, the last business day of the month. We're building $1 million business and we're doing it in public. Let's make sure we get everything spun up. Let's get this baby going. Can we get Insta? Can we get Insta? Can we get Insta? There we go. Click live on that baby. We're in that. We're in that. Welcome. Happy Friday. What are we doing? We're building $1 million business. Thank you for tagging along with me. We're at episode 15 already. Episode 15. And man, what if I told you though? But what if I told you, and this is specifically for new viewers, you just now joined. What if I told you you can build $1 million business and you can do it in 12 months? Would you believe me if I told you it's possible? Would you? Would you believe yourself? Would you even try it yourself? Listen, well, it is. And every day we're going behind the scenes to show you just how to build $1 million business. Thank you guys for joining. I'm Patrick Hart, known as that healthcare guy across social media. Who am I? Former military guy, former healthcare executive, part of an executive technology company that sold 2018. I've done some cool things for myself, right? But this is something I've never done before. In fact, I'm doing it in public as well. We're going to build $1 million business, and this is what we've been doing. So for the last, I would say, we kicked this baby out January the 11th. So what is that, 19 days? So for the last 19 days, we've been building the foundation of what $1 million business is going to look like. Let me make sure we do a time check. Boom, we're good. This baby just kicked off. Make sure all my channels are streaming. Today, where we're streaming, we got Instagram is popping. It's going to be wide open. We have LinkedIn is popping. It's going to be wide open. Comment section is open as well. YouTube is here. As always, YouTube shows up for me as well. TikTok family shows up like clockwork. And then my Facebook family, they haven't gotten into the mix yet. Maybe they're still skeptical to see what's going on, but they have access to it. So Facebook is going to be there as well. Again, I'm Patrick Hart. It'll be great if you drop your first name, what platform you're streaming from. It's going to help me out tremendously. Once we get to that ad spend, we're going to need to know where to invest our dollars, where we're going to get the greatest return on investment. And it's going to be instrumental or impactful for me, but also for you when we're planning that your $1 million business. So what are we talking about today? Today's topic is the complete monetization strategy of the newsletter and the growth plan. So basically, I'm giving you the playbook that I'm going to run this year so we can hit $1 million. So once again, chat box is open. Drop your first name, where you're streaming from. I will say hi and thank you for joining. Here's the thing. We have two goals this year. We have two main important goals. One, build $1 million engine, right, this year. The second goal is to build our newsletter up to 50,000 subscribers. So that's the second goal. So the second goal you can actually help me with right now, which is subscribe to the newsletter. If you haven't subscribed to the newsletter yet, go ahead and do that right now across LinkedIn and across the offline version of the newsletter. We're right about 5,900 or so people that have joined just in a short period of time. So the newsletter has been growing like crazy. So what does that mean to me? That we're delivering value. People are intrigued. People are interested in building a life for themselves that they've envisioned for themselves, but they just needed the playbook. So that's what we're revealing, the true actual playbook and how we're going to build this thing out from $0 to $1 million. And we're doing it in just 12 months. So if you look at it, this month is almost over, right? And you're thinking, man, how is he possibly going to hit $1 million? Do I know? Absolutely not. But do I have a growth plan in place? Absolutely. And that's what we're going to reveal today. The growth plan behind how we're going to scale to $1 million. And we're going to do it, we might as well say 11 months. Because the first month and a half, what do we need to do? We need to develop a foundation that's going to support our growth, right? So that's what we've been working on so far, the foundation. So I haven't took you behind the scenes, so to speak, yet to show you how the sausage is made, but I'm giving you intel, I'm giving you insight so you can see exactly what we're doing so you can build alongside of me as well, okay? Sign up for the newsletter. If you haven't do that, we got to get to 50,000 subscribers, so it's going to be very, very, very important to do. Let's get into this, baby. As always, I want to give you some of that Friday energy. I'm excited to be here. I'm happy to be here, and I love the fact that you guys have been tagging along for this journey. Does this make me absolutely nervous to put myself on camera like this? Yes, it does. But why am I doing this? Because this is something that I wanted to do for myself. And in return, why am I doing this for myself? Because I believe in strong impact. If people can see, then people can believe, right? And I know there's so many dope people out there that said, you know what? I want to build a business up to $1 million of recurring revenue as well, right? And so here's the playbook. Follow along. In fact, previous lives, we're up episode 15. Previous lives can be found on my YouTube page or on my LinkedIn section in the events tab. The only thing you got to do there's a link in the top right-hand corner. No matter where you see this stream, in the top right-hand corner, you can either take out your phone, you can snap the QR code and go right to it, or click on the link in the top right-hand corner. As always, too, there's always a link in my bio that has all my information on it, so you can subscribe to any of the news feeds or social channels that I have out there. So what are we talking about today? The complete monetization strategy of the newsletter and the growth plan. So what does that mean for you? We're talking about money. How are we going to scale to make $1 million? And I want to share some of that insight with you. At least I have a plan. So half the battle sometimes when you're building a business is to have a strategic plan that's going to help you grow. So right now the plan is in place. I want to share that information with you. And listen, let me pause really quick. I want to take a sip as people are feeding in. TikTok family, I see you. Thank you for the love, for continuing to show up. Insty, I see you. Insty, appreciate you. Thank you for the love. And then my LinkedIn family always continues to show up. And Facebook is spun up, so we're going with Facebook. Facebook, and then YouTube as well. I see you, family. So let me take my sip really quick, and then let's get in this, baby. All right, so that was just the intro. So here. Oh, I see you, fam. Thank you. So here's what I want to share with you guys. We're going to get into the whole strategy, the monetization strategy of the newsletter. I want to share with you the numbers, what they should look like, so you can see, you have visibility and intel into the path for how we're going to get there. Okay. Here's what you need to understand. Everything connects. When we're talking about building $1 million business, it needs to connect. Everything connects. So here's the hard truth that I want to share with you. Most people, they miss $1 million, not because they lack talent. They miss it because they never stack the math. So what does that mean? We need to figure out visionary. What does the math look like so we can back into it? Okay. That's what we're doing here. I want to reinforce this too. Everything we're doing, this is not theory. What we're doing is we're building a foundation. You should be building your foundation as well. We're building up our audience, right? So right now our audience exists, but it's going to continue to expand. And then the other thing too is we're creating the systems that's going to support our growth, right? So the systems right now, man, I can't say they're being worked on. I'm still spotlighting a couple of people that I'm working through to help me build out my systems. Once I've identified that person and I know exactly what those systems are, I'm going to share the systems and the person that I'm using to help me develop the systems as well. That way, for your playbook, you say, well, Patrick has built this. He built up this $1 million business, and these are the resources or the people that he used. I'm going to share that information with you. I'm going to be an open book throughout this process. So you're welcome to ask any questions along the way. If we haven't met, that part per what your question is, I'll tell you, and then we'll kind of keep it pushing. But right now, we're building this thing from scratch. I see you, TikTok family. Appreciate you. Insty family, I see you as well. Thank you for joining. All right. So I want to let you know this whole thing right here. We're talking about paths, not hype, okay? We're talking about a pathway to get there. And if you're going to build $1 million business, you cannot rely on one stream of income. We need to have multiple streams of income, and they need to be a coordinated execution, okay? So we're building $1 million business, but we need to have multiple streams of income that are all coordinated. You need to understand this too. Building 7 figures, it isn't by luck. It's by alignment plus repetition. That's what you need to understand here, right? A lot of people, they lean into one thing, and then, after maybe a couple of months, they're like, man, this is not working for me. So they abandon it all together. Sometimes you need to have patience, but you also need to have the right systems in place to help you get there. Okay, I'll make sure my water. Left the camera for a minute. I dropped my water. We don't want that spilling all over the place. All right, so let me give you the revenue breakdown. This is it. This is what you've been waiting for. What do the numbers look like? How are we going to get to $1 million in revenue in 2026? Here's a breakdown. Get out your pens and paper, your phone recorder, whatever you need to do at this point, because this is the point where we get into what the math looks like. So here's the revenue breakdown for me. This is how I see it happening. Does it mean 100% this is the way it's going to happen? No, that doesn't mean the case. There's probably going to be some pivots that we're going to need to make along the way. However, we need to have a plan, right? And this is what our plan looks like. So this is what it looks like. When we're building out $1 million business, first thing I'm going to look at is newsletter sponsorships, okay? People sponsoring a newsletter. Here's the math. We're breaking down to $1 million this year. I fully expect that we're going to get about $180,000 this year from newsletter sponsorships. Already the last 2 episodes, I've been running ads on those, or I've been having some sponsors on those, right? And those are people that hit me up because they see the value already in the growing audience that we have. And they wanted a spot on the newsletter where they can place their ads. Now, as that continues to compound and as our numbers from subscribers grow, the value of those sponsorships are going to continue to increase. I'll give you some more numbers behind that in a minute. So our newsletter sponsorships, I see about $180,000 this year just off of newsletter sponsorships. Now, digital products, okay? What are digital products? For me, this is going to be like the courses, the toolkits, things like that that I offer professionals and entrepreneurs like yourself that are looking to grow either yourself personally from your career or your business. So I'm going to have courses, the toolkits, leadership. I mean, all kind of stuff is going to be available for you. Are they ready yet? Not yet. I'm working on those behind the scenes, but I see a clear path that we should make about $300,000 this year just on digital products alone. Now, here's another thing. This is not my specialty, even though I came from, healthcare leadership. I was an executive that sold a technology company. I don't really like doing a whole lot of coaching because it takes a lot of time commitment to do that. And remember, if I'm growing my business to $1 million, I can't coach everybody. So, but with that being the case, I will offer a few sprints a year. And these are going to be high touch, high level sprints. So this is going to be my like coaching services and advisory, meaning consulting, things like that. I fully expect this year, just this year alone, about $250,000 is going to come from that bucket of income. Then the next thing, what about partnerships, affiliate partnerships? These are people that I'm using their products or people or organizations that would like me to use their products. What am I doing? I'm sharing with you and I'm providing a link and value where you can sign up for those people, right? Those partnerships, I could probably bring about $120,000 this year just in partnerships. How's it going to happen? Well, we do case studies. We build enough value in our newsletter that people want to partner with us. And they say, hey, Pat, I love what you're doing. Here's some products that we'd love for you to use for free. In return, here's a link. People sign up for it. We give them a discount, and then you get a discount for using our products. That's how partnerships work. So, right. So, and then the other thing, book sales, whether it's physical book sales or digital book sales, we should look at about $60,000 this year just on book sales, right? Ebooks, it's going to be a big value. They're not expensive, but that's a volume type of case study, right? And then I also have a Shopify account that I've been working on. It's not perfect, but it's there, right? So behind the scenes, that's additional thing that I keep on working because we're adding value for people who frequent the site. And some of those people like you so much so that they want to continue to invest in you, right? So now we got apparel and then we have merchandise. I fully expect to deliver about $50,000 in value this year for that. And now the other big thing that I have too is that we're going to be spotlighting this year are brand deals and speaking opportunities. So this is where people slide into the inbox, right? And they say, Pat, listen, we love what you're building. We love the fact you're building $1 million business in public. We love your energy. We would love for you to come to our organization, speak on our behalf or speak on your behalf. And here's the topic, blah, blah, blah. So those are the brand deals and speaking topics. Some of those have already been coming in just this week. Had some people hitting my slide in my inbox saying, hey, we think you'll be great for this speaking opportunity, right? They hadn't put a dollar amount around it yet. Now we need to amplify that and start to get to what is the dollar value for that. So I'm looking at brand deals and speaking engagements this year to total about $40,000. Okay. So we do the math. That's $1 million together. Pat, you said that really quick. Break down the numbers again. Newsletters and sponsorships, $180,000 this year. Digital products, courses, toolkits, things that's going to help you personally develop and excel personally or for your business, which is still personal, $300,000. Coaching services, advisory, consulting, things like that, like $250,000 this year. Affiliate partnerships, another $120,000. Book sales, physical or digital, $60,000. Apparel and merchandise is going to be $50,000, and then brand deals and speaking opportunities, another $40,000. You add that up, that's $1 million in revenue, and this is how I see us getting there. How much money have we earned today? Absolutely zero. Does that mean we're not going to get it? Absolutely not. We're building the foundation first, which means the systems, the automations, and the workflows to ensure that we're providing value for our subscribers, because that's the biggest thing. If you're not providing value, then you're not going to get the growth. So a lot of business owners miss this. They put out products, services, and solutions, but they haven't begun to provide any type of value and expect to generate money for that. So it's so important you have your systems in place, and then you start delivering value at a great point, probably value that you probably could have charged for, but you're going to give it away for free anyway, because that's how you grow trust. That's how you grow a fan base, and that's how you grow a subscriber base. And then that's how you get these affiliates and brand deals that want to partner with you as well, because they see your base is growing because of the value that you're providing. So that's why I'm doing this live right here. These lives are for you and for me. I want to build something in public. I want to build it with you, so you can not only build trust in me, but I'm giving you a playbook so we can do this baby together. Okay. Remember, the chat boxes are open. You can drop any chat at any time. I try to work through these as they pop in, but I appreciate your love, and thank you, family, for continuing to rock with me. Come on, let's continue on. So there's the math. Here's the thing here. We don't need one big monster win. You see this, I'm breaking it on the map, to hit $1 million. What we need is consistent mid-level execution across multiple lanes. This is the path to get to $1 million. We're going across multiple lanes. In my personal and professional opinion, if one stream is failing for your business, it can kill your business, right? But if you have multiple streams, you can grow your business. So as a business owner, if you're relying on one stream of revenue, you have a fragile business. That model can fall pretty quickly. So now we need to diversify and think about what additional things can we add of value to our business to help you get to $1 million. And you can see some of the things that I mentioned before. So let's build $1 million business. We're going to do it together. Let's talk about the strategy. So my newsletter is I'm going for the economic engine. What does that mean? It's a primary driver of growth, investment, and productivity, such as key industry or business model that generates and sustains and accelerates wealth and employment within a company, city, or nation. So that's what an economic engine is. It's just a primary driver of growth, investment, and productivity, if you ever want to know what the economic engine is. So let's look at the math again. From a sponsorship standpoint, you're like, okay, well, how do you get sponsors to pay you for your newsletter, right? And how much should you charge? That's always a big question that a lot of people ask me. So let's say, like right now, the newsletter actively has a little less than 1,300 subscribers on the newsletter. I have another 4,600 subscribers on LinkedIn, right? I have an opportunity to get those people on LinkedIn to come over to the offline newsletter, and then we can start promoting products, services and solutions there. Right now, I'm not doing that on LinkedIn. I'm just migrating those people over, giving them some interest. But from a sponsorship standpoint, what does that math look like? If you have 5,000 subscribers in your newsletter, right, you can look at charging about $750 per placed ad. Okay, so we're going to do the math on that. You have 10,000 subscribers. People want to know, how do you grow a newsletter? How do you build this money? If you have 10,000 subscribers, you're looking at about $1,500 per placement for an advertisement, right? For a sponsorship, right? Then you have 20,000 subscribers in your newsletter. You're looking at about $2,500 per placement for a sponsorship. And now if we're looking at the big, if we hit our goal of 50,000 subscribers, what that means is we're looking at about $4,000 to $5,000 per placement for sponsorship. So you can see how that adds up. So just a rule of thumb in your head, think about 10% of your subscribers is what you're charging from a math standpoint. So 2,000 subscribers, 10% of that, you're charging about $200 per ad placement. See what I'm saying? 5,000 subscribers, we're at $750, 10,000, we're at $1,500, 25,000 subscribers, $2,500, and then 50,000 subscribers, $4,000 to $5,000 per placement. Because what does that mean for these sponsors? That means they know they have an active, baked-in audience that's going to see that sponsorship message, right? And it may be amplified through referrals. So that particular growth is going to amplify their opportunity for that sponsorship to go even farther and even deeper as well. So about 10%. So if I run one sponsorship issue, right, one sponsor per issue, and I average in 2 issues per week, this is what I'm doing. I'm dropping my issues every Tuesday, and every Friday is when my issues go out. So there was an issue that dropped just this morning at 9 a.m. If you haven't subscribed to the newsletter, do that right now, and you can go and see that. It's totally free to join. I'm not charging anything for that. So if we do the math on that, right, and with the average blend, I can make about $3,500 a month right now, right? $3,500 a month, dropping newsletter twice a week, Tuesdays and Fridays. So we're looking at about $3,500 a month. So roughly, what does that mean? That's about $28,000 a month just at scale. So even at half that pace, I'm clearing six figures this year. Even at half that pace, I'm clearing six figures. What does that mean? There's so many people out here that says, you know what? I just want a side hustle, or I just want my business to generate $100,000 this year, which is dope. $100,000 for a lot of people is a lot of money. That's not our goal. Our goal is $1 million. But I'm just showing you the math. We can clear $100,000 this year just simply growing and providing value. Okay, you see that? Y'all following along? So we're gonna hit six figures. We already know we're gonna hit six figures. The goal is, can we hit $1 million? So let's back into that. Here's another part of our monetization strategy. I shared all of the other stuff with you. We talked about newsletter sponsorships, digital products, coaching, affiliate partnerships, book sales, apparel, merchandise, brand deals, and speaking engagements. All that's going to add into our $1 million growth, right? But here's another thing too. What if we're doing our own promotion? Like we're promoting our own products weekly. So in addition to everything else that I'm doing, I slightly dropped that, hey, you can invest in this, or you should buy this, or make sure you grab this. So soft CTA, which is a call to action, no aggressive selling. If I do that, let's say we create like a premium tier and we charge only $15 a month for a premium tier. $15 a month, $15 a month. And in that premium tier, we're going to give you so much more, whether it's case studies, whether that's actual AI prompts that we're using, whether that's all the tools and systems, whether that's linking you with the right people, whether that's actually providing you a video, other things that I'm doing so you can have even more insight other than this outside of this video. What if I create a membership like that? And in that membership, I only charge $15 a month and I get 2,000 people to sign up for that. You do the math on that. $15 a month for 2,000 people. Now we're clearing $30,000 a month just on a premium subscription. Are you seeing how the math is working out now? Right? You following along. So on a premium subscription, 2,000 subscribers, $15 a month. Now we're making $30,000 a month. So that's $360,000 a year. And that's just going that premium route. So now the chips start stacking. Now they start adding up. You can see how people can get to $1 million and they're doing it in a year. This is the goal that we're having together. Remember, chat box is open. You can drop any comments you want to. I try to work through these. We're streaming today on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. So that's where the family is. If this is your first time joining, we're on episode 15. There's 14 other episodes. You're like, man, this is dope. I'm finding value. Where can I see the other ones? You can click on the link that I have on the top right-hand corner of the screen, sign up for the newsletter, or go to my link in the bio, go down to my YouTube page, and I have a playlist called Building $1 Million Business, or go to my LinkedIn profile underneath the events tab, and you can see all the previous recordings as well. If you've ever been on social media, you know things on social media don't live forever. So at some point, they may disappear. So I would encourage you to go watch those today, because they may not be there tomorrow, or let's say the next 30 days, because they like to save space for new content that comes around. All right. So email monetization works because trust compounds. All right. I see you, Rob Dunn, ATX. So email monetization works because trust compounds. Social doesn't compound, it resets. So why am I telling you this? My baseline for generating a newsletter is because now I have an ecosystem. Every time I send out an email to people, it's going directly to the contacts on my list. Whereas a lot of people put a lot of energy into creating content for social media. And we know those algorithms are not favorable. People don't always see your content, even though they're subscribed to your list as well. So if we're relying on that to grow our business, that may not be a good move for you. That's why we want to create our own ecosystem. That way we know our messaging gets out each and every time. So let's talk a little bit more about the newsletter growth strategy, because I know we're at 6 minutes left before I end this thing. What we're looking for this year, let's say we want to grow from where we are today. So let's say 5,000 subscribers to 20,000 by year end. Let's say I miss my 50,000 and we only get to 20,000. That's still, what's the pace for that? That means we need to average about 1,250 new subscribers per month in order to get there, right? How are we going to get there? So here are the growth channels. Let me talk about my growth channels, okay? Because a lot of people want to grow something, but you need growth channels. So the growth channels I'm going to be looking at this year: social funnels, okay? I'll back in and talk about these here in a minute. Lives, like what I'm doing now is a live, collaborations, which are so important and crucial, referrals, and lead magnets. Okay. So social funnels, really quick. Every post points to an outcome. So every time I post something, it's pointing to a call to action that I want them to do. For instance, I'm going to say subscribe to the newsletter because that's my baseline. I want you to do it. I'm straightforward, calling it out. That's what I want you to do, right? Because I want to gain your attention, build some value, nurture the relationship, and then add additional value along the way. Lives. Every live ends with a newsletter moment. For me, throughout the live, I'm telling you what I want you to do. Call to action, join the newsletter. I need you to join the newsletter. We're building that baby to 50,000. The other thing I need you to do, invite people to these lives. Like I'm doing this Monday through Friday, every day. I see you, family. Appreciate the hearts, man. I'm doing this Monday through Friday, every day at noon, And it's only 30-minute segments, okay? So lives is part of my strategy. The other thing too is collaborations. I'm looking to collaborate with 2 partner features per month, right? 2 partner features per month. And why do I want to do that? Because now I'm borrowing their audience and they're borrowing my audience. Now we're collaborating and we get that cross segmentation and both our audiences build. So collaboration is part of the strategy. Then referrals. I'm using Beehive as my newsletter source, right? So they have a referral feature in there. I want to look and explore that a little bit more. So referral rewards, subscribers become marketers. This is what we're looking at. Once people see the value in what you have to offer, those people will market on your behalf. So that's one of our channels for growing the newsletter. The other thing too is lead magnets. It's going to be so important as you're building your landing page, as you're building your sales funnel. What are you giving away of value for free that makes people want to join your newsletter? For me, it's going to be my ebook. So I'll probably give out my ebook, and I'm creating some other lead magnets behind the scenes that I haven't dropped yet, that I'm not ready to reveal because I'm still working through the planning stage. But those lead magnets, something that has a proven topic and that has a proven demand, makes people want to join the funnel. Okay, so you want to think about these things when you're building your business as well. Listen, newsletters, they don't grow from hacks, right? They grow from relevance and repetition. So if you're looking at growing a newsletter, building out your business, you can't do one thing once. You have to do that one thing multiple times over and 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 over again. Okay. So right now we haven't invested any ad spend in any one particular engine yet. The reason why is because we want to make sure our machine is set up for success. What's the machine? It's the workflows, the automations, the back-end processes, the systems. It all has to speak to one another, right? Once we get that set up and we know we're providing value, now what I'm going to get at, and this is what I'm shooting for from a target standpoint, is then I'm going to start investing somewhere between $1,500 to about $2,000 a month on ads. Where am I going to spend that money at? Well, multiple different places. I'm going to test. Everybody want to know if LinkedIn works. I'm going to test some LinkedIn ads for mid-level professionals. I'll probably do that. I'll do some Google ads with high intent keywords. I'm going to do some of that as well. And then the big thing here is what we want to do is we want to track cost per subscriber. We want to track conversion to leads. We want to track conversion to revenue. All these things are going to be so important, right? Simple breakdown, really quick. Simple breakdown, because I know we're running on time. Simple breakdown. If a subscriber costs me $3 per subscriber, right? And I want 1,000 subscribers a month, that means I'm going to spend $3,000 a month to get 1,000 subscribers. You're following me? Simple math. So this is how we're thinking as a business owner. I want 1,000 people subscribe this month. That means I got to spend $3,000 to get there, right? If 2% of those $3,000 convert into buying products in our newsletter, the average value for that customer is $97. So what does that mean for me? I want my customer to spend about $97 with me. And if I can get that $97 with me, my return on investment is actually making sense. We want to do the math. So if we're doing the math, that's $1,900 revenue immediately, plus there's the long-term value. Once I get somebody to spend $100 with me and I'm still providing value, then I can offer them other value adds that can increase the value of a customer. This is how simple math works for generating revenue and building towards $1 million. So ads don't fix broken offers, right? That never works like that. What they do is they amplify what's working, okay? All right. So thank you, family. I appreciate the TikTok family. Man, you guys are showing me love today. That y'all give me that Friday energy. I'm loving this. Listen, we're right at time. Go back and watch the previous 14. Like they're Netflix and chill type activities, like real talk. You're going to get tons of value. At some point, what I'm going to do to monetize those 15, I'm probably going to add those up, chop those up, make some talking points, and probably create a course out of that. You see what I'm saying? This is work that I've already done, and probably create a course out of that where I can charge whatever I want to charge for that, especially if people are saying value. So everything that we do as a business owner should be monetized at some point. There's going to be some free things that we're giving away, like this is free. But there's going to be people who miss this, who's going to come back and say, you know what? This guy really did this. I wonder if I can get some more insight, right? And then this is when we charge people for the work that we've already done. So that's how that works. Listen, 7 figures isn't loud, it's deliberate. And now you can see the path that we're putting together to get to $1 million. Listen, guys, thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for the continued support. Am I crazy? Absolutely. But sometimes you need to get out of your fear. You got to get out of being just staying out of your box and your belief system and do something you've never done before. That's what we're here to do. We're building $1 million and we're doing it from scratch. And at some point, we're going to invest some money. But I continue to love and appreciate your support. We'll be here Monday, noon Central Standard Time. Sign up for the newsletter if you haven't. Do that right now. Subscribe to the newsletter. Let's grow this baby together. And then I will see you Monday. Enjoy your weekends. Y'all stay safe. Love you guys. Let's get it.